Hello and welcome. It is July 5th and stuff. We're doing another podcast. I don't know why I said the day. That was weird. I was just trying to think of an intro. But anyway, I am joined
It's not
by
a bad idea.
Anita, Mike, and Eric. And
What's up?
myself, Garrett. We're just, doing another podcast talking about stupid shit, serious shit, you know,
It's
whatever
gonna be a little
comes
bit
to
of dumb
mind.
stuff and a little bit of smart, serious stuff, but mostly dumb stuff. Right?
Basically, you should picture us sitting in rocking chairs around a wood stove in a country store, smoking
Or
pipes.
imagine us sitting in like a ghetto on like the stairs of this crumbling apartment building, smoking cigarettes and drinking Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Rolling
Nice.
Are you referring to something, Garrett?
No, nothing. All I was trying to get was them to think of us as idiots who think we're smart.
We're setting the atmosphere, trying to.
Yeah.
Didn't get it.
So to just get on with it, what are we going to be talking about first today?
Well, let's talk about. I guess what's gonna take up
Do we-
most of today's episode
Yeah.
is like all this online drama with
So-
streamers.
With like the sexual harassment, the
YouTubers,
fucking
yeah,
just
it's-
toxicity,
So
and all that shit.
real quick, kind of conspiracy theory-ish, but Hollywood has been having these claims of people in power using their power to get what they want or have sex with whoever they want and abuse people and keep them silent. It to me, it kind of seems like these streamers were up there, or these CEOs of these streamer companies are up there. They're using their power, but I guess I don't know. They don't have the backing of Hollywood they weren't able to keep it all secret or like
They
not
weren't
a
as
big
much in the
deal.
public eye as like a lot of these fucking Harvey Weinstein type characters, where you
Well,
got away
I-
with it for decades.
I will say that when you bring it up, it is interesting that we're kind of going through round 2 of the whole Me Too thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now.
Yeah.
And in the first round, it was hijacked pretty early on and became too unfocused, which prevents anything from actually getting done. Like early in the first Me Too, there was a real chance to get some very, very powerful people who have been doing this shit for decades arrested, but it quickly became unfocused and
Yes.
that ended. So it's interesting to me also that in the second round of this, we're not just hearing about Hollywood, we're hearing about all this streamer stuff. And something that I kind of follow, which is pro wrestling, there's a lot of shit going on in the wrestling world this time. So not to say that none of these people in the streamer world or the wrestling haven't done anything wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I find it interesting that these two things are being tossed out there this time, almost as a way to take the focus more off of Hollywood. Because Hollywood's the big money one, and it's the people who have the most power and
the most defense. But it just
Yeah.
to me, it just seems like all these people who rise up in power, they just abuse it.
Like power corrupts, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like there's that
Yep.
that's the quote is like absolute power corrupts absolutely. Like
Yeah.
it's insane, but I just because there's people out there who they came from nothing, get power, and then they just think that they own everything.
And it's
So they
also,
can do
it's
whatever
like,
they want.
the world owes me this child's asshole. It's like
well, that's the thing. Like, these are probably, like, especially, no offense, in the gaming world, because we all exist there, but it's probably people that weren't used to getting a lot of attention and stuff.
Yeah, true.
right.
And then all of a sudden now random people are sending the messages like, "Oh, you're so hot. I want to have your babies. LOL." Like,
right.
Mhm.
No, yeah, you know what? Like again, like pro Jared, he did do some things wrong, but it is like look at the guy. He's not super attractive, but he had this really successful, body positivity Tumblr, which he was kind of abusing. But exactly, like because he was a popular YouTuber, this is why people cared about it. This is why people joined it. like gave him attention because of his position, not what he looked like, or not even his personality.
Yeah, I mean, because the biggest scandal that comes to mind for me is the one that happened in the Method Gaming community with one of their
Yes.
players. His name was Josh, who they had known for a while that he was either sexually harassing women or like grooming young women, and
Delightful.
like for I don't know, Method just went about it the wrong way and just did not, because I mean there was a police investigation into Josh in the UK about this, and he kept playing it off as like, oh yeah, the investigation's over, they didn't find anything, like it's not gonna happen again, kind of thing. And Method believed him. They should have done something, because now like the Method organization is basically going to be gone after this scandal. Like everyone that was a part of Method is no longer a part of Method. Their VP, I think, was also involved in a scandal about how he was like, I think he's like sexually harassed or assaulted someone. But like, it's I don't know. It's
to give you a little like insight. Like Eric and Anita, Method is like the biggest WoW guild, and like they're like the people that like down the bosses.
Yeah, they were the ones that they were in the mythic the raids first and downing the bosses first.
I do vaguely know about them because they're sometimes mentioned in the classic subreddit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I do know what that is about.
I'm sure they have a Method classic guild.
Yeah,
right?
they do. I mean, the first person to hit level 60 in classic, his name was Joker. He was part of the Method organization. So again, no longer is. Method had PvP teams in WoW. Method had mythic teams in WoW, and all of those teams have now distanced themselves and said we can't support this. Like, evidence shows that Method knew that Josh was acting this way, and they took no action.
So all this stuff with Method, it really reminds me of what happened with Channel Awesome and the Nostalgia Critic. A couple of years ago, this huge Google Doc was uploaded of all the previous employees talking about how like the owner and them not only were really shitty employers and treated them really unfairly, but there was the main guy, Mike something. He would sexually assault members, and it was kind of if we just ignore it, it'll just go away kind of thing. Like they didn't deal with it. They didn't have an HR rep. And it's they just kind of dealt with it the same way. Yeah.
They didn't have trained HR people. Like it was just I mean it's a gaming, like they came from fucking being a guild on WoW to being a business, I guess.
Like they were a company of friends too, right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times friends have a lot of trouble like calling each other out on their bullshit when it comes. Unless you're an asshole like me.
If it was like if we were getting relatively big or whatever, and somebody came to me and was like,
look at
these messages Garrett's sending me, I'd probably be like, Garrett, stop. And I guess that's how it starts, right? Like I guess what I would have to do is like try to get Garrett.
See, what needs to happen is a third party needs to intervene at some point and either do an investigation or like have a talk.
Yeah.
But, it's
before it gets out of hand.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I think contribute to that, and like people's moral fibers and how much they're willing to let go because they want to spare other people's feelings, or they think like all of these other good things, memories trumps this one bad thing that this person is doing. They can't actually be doing something bad. Like it's just a mistake they're constantly making, so they'll let it go.
Yeah.
It's just like, nah, you gotta squash that shit like right away.
Yeah, you know what? It's like Bam Margera, his uncle, got in trouble for sexually assaulting people. And like again, he's this ugly ass guy, but he's probably like, it was on the Bam Margera show. Of course, what women wouldn't want to sleep with me. So they just like take it way too far. Yeah. and it's just like, yeah, all these guys, they just get their little power, and it's like, gotta molest.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, unfortunately, I also think that one of the things that ends up derailing these movements is that I feel like people need to be more careful about what they believe, because I think what they do a lot of times is they poison the well, in the sense that like some legitimate accusations will come out, and then they'll promote accusations that are obviously fake or done by people who have an agenda. So then they can point to those ones and be like, oh, look, everybody's involved. Everybody that involved in this is just looking for money or attention, or they're nuts. So in order to prevent that, the poisoning of the well,
have to be critical of everything coming up.
Exactly. And you can't just fall into this whole like, oh, believe all
women.
See,
exactly.
I mean, the point where I am skeptical is if one person comes out against someone. I'm always super skeptical. But if multiple people come out and have similar stories about the same person, that's when I get less skeptical.
Even that can't always be a litmus test, because it is possible that a person who's accused by just one person, like, yes, this is often a pattern of behavior, but you don't know how many victims they have who don't come forward. So
yeah, that's true, completely.
And also on the other side, it is possible that there can be coordinated bullshit against a person.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's no
what you're saying.
real way to tell, I guess.
Yeah.
Except unless there's actual proof, like physical proof, text messages, DMs, whatever.
Right.
What I like about this second wave is people are talking about the opposite, like when it's women doing it to men. And it's like, we can't forget about men. Sorry, Anita.
No, I was just going to say that it's like exactly what Eric was saying about the false accusations coming out. Like, look what happened to Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like him as an actor or anything, but like, dude, his fucking crazy, is it his wife? His girlfriend?
His ex-wife.
I don't know what
I
the hell.
think
His wife, right?
She like cut off part of his finger. She was beating him. She was berating him. She was throwing shit at him nonstop. Just
but
like
everyone thought
this
he
guy.
was the asshole.
Yeah. And then like now it's like, oh, he lost his show or movie, whatever he was doing. Like he got completely
in contracts
blacklisted.
with Pirates of the Caribbean again.
And now we're like in the future, and all this actual evidence is coming out against her, like recordings of her, physical photos of things that she's done to him, and it's just like, okay, what now? You fucked over this man's life.
Well,
like, she needs to be in fucking jail.
Yeah, and yeah, so like for a while there, it was just like if a woman said something about a man, it was 100% true, and we had to blacklist him and we had to ruin his life. And I'm glad like this truth and stuff is coming out. But on the other or similar kind of point though, it's like for a long time, it's for forever, right? Men can't talk about their feelings. And men can't talk about being sexually assaulted because like they're going to be seen as like weak or like too emotional and stuff.
The whole idea of men not talking about emotions and feelings is so fucking 50s. Like, holy shit, get over it. Like, it's 2020. Everyone has a brain. Everyone has mental issues. Like, and the best way to get over it is by talking about it.
It is funny that that's actually in the course of human history a relatively recent thing. Like if you look in the Victorian age, which in the course of human history is not that long ago, and we think of the Victorian age as, I guess a backwards time in a lot of ways. But if you look at like personal correspondence between men who were friends, they would write each other letters being like, I love you and I miss you and I can't wait to see you again. And yeah, it was like, and like people would read that now and be like, oh, they must have been gay. And it's like, no, they just weren't. They just didn't. They didn't have that hang up.
They were brothers from different families.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. No, it's
so that's a relatively recent thing. That
it's good that we are starting to talk about it, and it's not it's not just blaming men, because it's like women do I'm gonna admit like it's probably most of the cases are men, but it's not that it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And I mean, I do think we also have to take into account there's a difference between some, scumbag producer hoarding you into a room and raping you essentially. There's a big difference between that and somebody being like, "Hey, if you suck my dick, I can get you this role." And they're like, "Okay, I'll suck your dick," and they do it, and then you get the role, and then 20 years later you decide that you were pressured. It's like, okay, you were offered something in exchange for a sexual service and you voluntarily complied. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't
and
know.
It's a scummy deal.
and there is a gray area there, because there's like, they can easily be like, oh, your career won't go anywhere unless you do this.
Yeah,
And then I
that's
guess
the
that
thing.
does cross the line into abuse. But another big, there's this whole big movement now about like, oh, let's legitimize sex work and remove the stigma from it. Well, if you're going to do that, then you can't accuse the
sex
buyer of a
shouldn't-
crime.
So, yeah, but like they need to offer the sex. Like it needs to come from the person who's. See, I agree that we need to legalize like sex.
It's so
workers.
gray.
But
It's so
yeah,
gray.
it is
Pretty dicey there.
like this great. But again,
I'm-
I don't think that like they didn't go in thinking, oh yes, I'm going to have sex with this person so I can get this role. A sex worker
Right.
knows going in, I'm going to have sex with this person so I can make money.
I'm thinking about it, and it's like I feel both ways. It's like, okay, girl goes into office for this role. He goes, you know what? If you suck my dick, I'll give you the role.
And again, that was unexpected going
It's
into it for the woman.
unexpected.
So
but
that's where the line should be cut.
But if she agrees and then regrets it later in life, but you still agreed with it at the time. I'm not saying it's not scummy and abusive of his power to offer it, because I believe it is.
Well, yeah,
but to agree to it, but then later try to get him in trouble for doing it, that's kind of scummy too, because it's like you could have just said no. Oh, you don't get the part.
Yeah, and we're also viewing this from an outside perspective. We're not in there in the
Yes.
meetings at the moment.
Yes.
Like, we don't know
exactly.
everything going through the person's head. Like, they could be like,
Yes.
oh, this is my one shot. If I say no here, my career's over. Like, it's
Yeah,
not that like
that's
they're
true.
willing.
I
It's
guess
could be
that-
something
that's kind of
completely different.
So situational. So if
Yeah.
it's so situational, it should just be wrong.
Well, that's maybe a bit of a bad example, but I was more going to the area that I guess one of the more extreme views that's kind of being pushed lately with this is the idea that if somebody agrees to something consensually and then decides retroactively that they regret it, that means that they were retroactively raped, and I think that's total bullshit.
Oh no, that's horse crap. Yeah, no, like I know I have had personal things where it's like they regretted this decision later. I get called a scumbag, but it's like during the time, it was very mutual. And I hate that stuff. We have a friend who almost got in a lot of trouble because he hooked up with a girl. She regretted it later, called the cops, and he almost got fucked over really
Yeah.
badly. And that's
it could have
bullshit.
ruined his life. Like,
Completely,
real
but it was
terrible shit.
totally, yeah, but it was totally mutual, and that's bullshit. That's unfair
Yeah,
towards.
it's the type of thing where people are like,
But, I mean, I've had many regrets, and I don't wake up and go, well, like, oh, well,
Guess I
was
better ruin
drinking
his
at that
life."
Party,
I
so
think it's
really
other
it was his
people
fault.
influencing
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and making your mind up for you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I-
casting couch is a bad example of that because there is the power dynamic there. I'm more just referring to in general
Yeah.
the concept of retroactively withdrawing consent.
That's
Yeah,
not okay.
and I would agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Now,
That's-
what you guys gotta do is you have to have a contract, every
Contract.
time you're going to
yeah,
engage in sex.
so you have to have two things when you're going for sex: a
Sexy, that
condom
whole
and a contract in your wallet.
Make sure you staple the condom onto the contract. Staple
opening
right
this.
through
Okay,
it.
just hand it to her and be like, okay, if you open the condom, that is a legally binding agreement that this is consensual. But I guess moving on, I'm not sure this show is going to be a very cheery one. There's just been a lot of bad shit. It's 2020.
All negative.
Everyone knows
All negative.
2020 is the worst
Way
year
through it
in the
now.
past like century. Maybe not the
Mhm.
century because World War II happened.
Yeah. You know, the anti-maskers would tell you it's worse than the Holocaust.
Oh god, do we want to talk about that? We didn't write it down.
Yeah, we can
but-
talk about it. Yeah, but we can
Anti-maskers would
talk.
probably tell you the
Like,
Holocaust
I
didn't
think
happen.
we only need to say
Yeah.
one thing actually. Anti-maskers, you're fucking dumb.
You're so
Like,
dumb.
unless
Just
you
wear
have a
the
medical
mask.
condition where like you can't, just wear a fucking mask.
I saw
Like,
a video the other day
U.S.
of a girl
going through
with.
a second wave of this shit.
Yeah, we were all wearing masks before. Nobody was complaining. It's just because it's back.
Well, and there are some businesses, and like I know here in Toronto, the TTC has instituted a policy of having to wear masks if you're using their service, and it's like, yeah, you know what? If a lot of times, I'll be honest, if I'm just taking a walk to Tim Hortons or the corner store or something, I don't bother with a mask. But if I'm going to go on the TTC, where there's thousands of people going in and out of that fucking train every day,
Yeah,
you
of course.
wear a mask.
Yeah.
Thing is too is like before COVID even happened, there was a protest a while back about like how the air in the TTC underground is really polluted, and the workers there wanted to wear masks, and the TTC head people were like, "You can't wear masks. It's gonna make people not want to take the subway, and you're
Mm.
gonna ruin the transit." Blah blah blah. And it's like, well, they're being exposed to
Well,
pollution
yeah,
all
like-
fucking
Yeah.
day, every day.
It's win-win. COVID was good for
So,
TTC
COVID
workers.
helps them be more protected. Hooray!
Yeah, I don't know. The only sympathy I have for them is if you do recall in the early days of this, they were telling people like, don't wear a mask. It doesn't really do anything. Healthcare providers need them.
Yeah.
But if you're an average, so I think some people were kind of like, well, you're
Yeah.
flip-flopping on this, which in fairness they did.
Yeah.
But
I mean, again, like they also didn't know. Like they came out later that said, okay, COVID can't be transmitted by like someone touches a doorknob. It can't be transmitted by you touching that doorknob too. I think is what I heard. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
they've done a lot of flip flop. I think
Yeah.
the whole thing too. They also said at one point that wearing masks actually increases your risk to get it because
Yeah.
you're more likely to adjust your mask and therefore be closer to touching your face.
yeah, there was all kinds of that conflicting information.
Um,
Especially
also, I
early
want to
days.
say real fast. Sorry to the listeners. There's a thunderstorm going on outside, so if you hear thunder and rain, I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, I wish
Uh,
there was one here. It's been like such a friggin' heat wave. We need one to cut the heat.
Yeah, it's. So
I
hot
actually
here.
checked the weather yesterday and I'm like, when is this heat wave ending? And then I looked at it for the next 2 weeks and it's all like 32,
Are you
35,
kidding me?
32.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks of this.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
even here, like it's cooled down now that there's a thunderstorm, but all day today it was like 95, which I think we looked at 33 is like 93 Celsius or something like
Yeah,
that.
so we're about the same temperature right now.
Yeah. And then all
They have a
next
lot
week
of-
it's going to be like 100s, like triple digits.
Jesus.
So it's going to be fun because
And
my
yeah, you're right.
AC
Environment
cannot
Canada,
keep up with the
Monday through next Saturday, all like 32 or 33. Jesus.
Yeah, my AC cannot keep up with the heat. It goes up to like 80 degrees in here at the like top of the day, or at like the hottest point in the day. But it cools down in the evening, so I guess it's all right.
Yeah.
Near like the top of my building, we're like one of the highest floors, so of course heat rises, and I have fully enforced that we are keeping the curtains drawn all day. Like I don't care if it's emo and dark in here because the sun comes through and bakes us alive. So it's like curtains closed, AC on,
I
and
remember.
it's still like just temperature in here. It's like neutral. It's not cool. It's a little bit warm,
Yeah.
and it's going all day, every day, full blast.
That's why I'm so lucky. Like I'm on a high floor like you, but my apartment faces the setting sun. So at the hottest part of the day, I don't have direct sunlight in here, and it's like thank fucking God, because that'd just
Yeah.
be brutal.
Oh, yeah, I remember living in a apartment building, and yeah, it would get so hot, even with curtains. The curtains would be like hot to the touch.
Yeah, I know my apartment is not insulated very well, so kind of sucks.
So we only kind of touched the tip of the iceberg talking about like the accusations going around because there's a lot more people that we could talk about.
Yeah, we certainly could, but I don't know if we want to talk about that. We can. If not, we can move on to another topic. Up to you guys.
Well, there's ones like Fedmeister,
Fedmeister, offline TV,
yeah, who was part of like the Pokimane house, and
well,
he's
offline
being
TV. Yeah.
yeah.
Is that?
What?
What's the Pokimane house?
It's offline TV. It was just so it started out as a group of streamers that all moved into a house together. Lily Pichu, Pokimane, Scara, Fedmeister was the editor who
This
later
guy's
became
toast.
famous because he would appear in their videos and he started making his own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
This guy's Toast was part of it. I feel like there's someone else missing, but yeah, for the most part, those are the big ones.
Mhm.
And yeah, so apparently Fedmeister
Scara
moved
is
into
in
the
there, right?
house. Yeah, I said Scara.
Okay.
Fedmeister moved in as like their editor. He would edit like everyone's videos on YouTube, and that kind of shit. And apparently, not a good person. Lily Peach has
Yeah.
stories about him, just kind of after Lily had this very public breakup with someone and was obviously very torn up about it. He tried
Yeah,
to
and it
move
was
in on her,
really
and yeah,
the Lily Pichu breakup was pretty
yeah,
recent,
because
right?
they were in Japan whenever they found out, and it's like she just immediately flew back, and yeah, it was kind of it was pretty recent. It was like maybe January or February. It was
Yeah.
before COVID stopped all flight, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's crazy. Like, there's just so much stuff. Eric, you were telling me about this female streamer.
Yes, there's some. I can't remember her name now, but there was a female streamer who, when she was 24, was blowing a 14-year-old male streamer for like 3 months. And he wasn't even one of these 14-year-olds who looked 18. He was a 14-year-old who looked 10. But of course, when this came out, there's basically three extremist type of reactions. One is they basically want her lynched to set an example that women can't do this shit too, and
Yeah.
that she should be punished even harsher. Then there's
No.
the people who are like, well, this kid is, what is he, gay? Why did he turn that down?
Yeah.
And then there's the people who are, of course, like, well, we don't know what actually happened. Maybe he was molesting her. So,
Like the thing is, like,
it's
why the
just kind
fuck
of
are
old.
why the fuck is this being talked about? Why is this not just like with the police and shit? Like, I don't understand why it's not going through like the channels that every normal person would go through.
Cause it's weird. It's like all this online Twitch and YouTube stuff. Yeah, it's all dealt with through like
Because people would rather like hold the information as power over other people than turn it into actual authorities.
and it all just turns into like YouTube drama like videos. Like the whole stuff that happened between like I don't know, this isn't like whatever. James Charles and like
Jeffree
Tatiana.
Jeffree
Star
Star,
and
yeah.
I believe
Tati.
all four of those made all this stuff up. They were all in agreement that they were going to make drama videos on each other for views and money and to sell their products. I think it was all just made up. Now Shane Dawson's banned from YouTube, so maybe not, but like yeah, it's not
But he
done
got
through
banned
police
from
or
YouTube?
anything. Yeah, Shane Dawson can't make money off of YouTube anymore.
What
Oh,
exactly?
didn't know that.
I know that guy's name, but like, what did he do that was?
He did a lot of like profile stories. He did the profile story on Jake Paul, Jeffree Star, and he did like some conspiracy theory videos, and I don't know.
They're
Like
all
he's just a
bullshit,
drama
though.
YouTuber. That's all he is.
But like the Jake Paul one was him calling him like a narcissist and a psychopath. Like
No.
it's
sociopath.
It was
sociopath.
sociopath. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all just like hot words to make money and shit. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
it's
just
all bull crap.
it's just building the drama. That's all it is. Like, he's a drama
Yeah.
YouTuber. The videos were full of drama, and people love drama. Like,
Yeah.
Look at us, we're talking about it.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
So
it's almost like this is the 2020s version of tabloid newspapers, basically.
yeah,
you know.
I mean,
I mean,
that's
If
So
we
I would-
want to talk YouTube drama, my biggest sad drama was Jenna Marbles leaving.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
even know why she left.
Why did she leave? What happened?
She took her millions of dollars, cried on camera, and left.
No, but seriously,
No.
why did?
She it was pretty much like a video when she came out apologizing for things she's done in the past, because I think cancel culture was really starting to get to her, and
She
like
did the
Mm.
blackface, right?
yeah, she was owning up to all her mistakes. Like, she put on dark makeup to look like Nicki Minaj for Halloween back in like 2016 or something like that, and she made a music video, and in
Oh,
it she had the line like, "Hey King Kong," or "Hey Ching Chong King Kong," or something. I don't know.
Oh,
It was
whoa,
something
whoa,
racist.
Anita, we want to stay monetized.
Sorry.
So, no, I'm just-
And yeah, so she like owned up to everything, and then she was just like, "I'm really sorry to offended people," and like she's crying the entire time, but like not like, I don't think it was over dramatic crying. I think it was genuine.
Yeah,
She's
no, it definitely
upset.
like compared to like Tati's. I don't know her name. The makeup girl.
yeah,
Toddy.
Todd.
Her
Yeah.
her most recent video is she is fake crying. Yes, the Jenna Marbles, she seemed pretty actually upset.
Yeah, so she is now quit, or maybe she's coming back because she has since deleted that video of
Mm.
her talking about like just being really
Well,
sorry to everybody.
In all honesty, if she waits 6 months to a year and comes back, half of the world will have forgotten about this anyways, because trends and shit move. Everybody will be on something else by then. You know what I mean? I know that sounds cynical, but if you look at
I mean,
the
I feel like
history,
it's
fucking true.
also
be
fair
quite-
to have to see people realize their mistakes, apologize for them, and it's all right. Like,
That's the
we're
whole
good.
thing. Is she like, this is 4 years since those videos were made.
She
or
did anything for
longer.
views.
That's why a lot of people have the view now that I see a lot of people saying, like, don't even bother apologizing, because apologizing is essentially, it's admitting you're wrong and it's showing weakness, and they're just going to come after you
See,
harder.
this is a good segue into what I wanted to talk about with Alinity. Like,
Okay.
Alinity, well, this is also ties into another topic, Reckful's death. He died on Thursday. Was that January 2nd? Or not January, July 2nd, I think.
Yeah, it's
And
recent.
he was a huge member of Twitch, just the Twitch community and WoW community. He was the first WoW PvPer to get to 30 or to 3,000 rating in PvP. He was probably like the best rogue at the time. He was a huge inspiration for a lot of PvPers. I think they even won BlizzCon. And he committed suicide on Thursday. He wasn't in a good place. He had mental issues,
Mhm.
and a lot of it, I feel like, came from just like toxicity online and like people constantly shitting on other people. And
Dude,
the reason I bring Alinity into this is because like everyone hates Alinity, and sure, I guess you could say you have good reasons to, whether it's because she threw her cat or the copy strike PewDiePie shit. I'm over it. Like, I used to hate Alinity and would fucking make jokes about her. I wouldn't do it
Yeah.
online, obviously. I would just do it in the friend group. But now I'm just done with it. Like, I don't want to feel bad about making other people feel shitty. Or sorry, no, that's wrong. That's the wrong way to phrase it. I don't want to feel good about making people feel shitty.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop doing it. And like, she's apologized. She's trying to not. She's like, the cat bit her back. They're even. All right. Like, I don't know. I'm done with like that kind of toxicity. Just constantly shitting on people for past mistakes.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, she did her shitty thing. I still think she's probably a pretty shitty person outside of the camera, but yeah, she doesn't need to be berated by millions of people just because she's famous and she did something wrong. It's like when a celebrity cheats on their wife. It's like, how could they do that? They should be better than that. Why?
Again,
Because
no
they're a
one knows this.
celebrity?
Yeah, no one knows. Also, no one
They're a
knows like
regular
the
human being. They're the exact same as everyone else. We all make mistakes.
yeah. Like being in the spotlight just highlights your mistakes even worse. Like again, millions of people get to shit on you because of social media.
It's so crazy to just put like celebrities or like celebrities on these fucking pedestals. Like it's like they're not. They're a normal human person being. Like it's.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
people fuck up, and again, like I'm just done with like the toxicity of the internet and just being constantly holding on to this, just like, oh yeah, they're a shitty person, I hate them kind of thing. Like even with Ninja, I used to fucking hate Ninja because I always thought he was fake because of the
I think he's
what'd
a
you say to me, you
dumbass.
little bitch,
Yeah.
kind of shit. And then now he's going to a family friendly kind of stream, and there's other reasons I don't like him, but it's mostly because he's kind of religious, and I just don't like religious zealots, and I fucking hate God. Whenever I hear that someone's religious, it automatically like drops 20 reputation points for me.
Balls
Like,
shoot up into your body.
exactly. Like I don't know why. It's because I know why. It's because I was raised religious, and I just have this super affinity to just fucking hate anyone religious, because I imagine them as just being stupid and closed-minded and not smart enough to see that, oh yeah, religion probably not real.
Yeah.
But like,
So
again, I don't know. I had my rant, I guess.
okay. I'm forgetting his name. The etiquette.
Etika?
Etika.
Oh.
Again, he was mentally ill. He ended up committing suicide. Everyone's so sad. But before that, it was like his mental issues would be made fun of, clowned. People like Keemstar would provoke them, have him on the
Hey, fuck Keemstar.
channel.
I just want to point that out.
Yeah, and like no one's actually helping. Everyone's either making fun of them or like hyping them up to feed more into this like manic state. And yeah, like stuff like seeing like SoFlo freak out and stuff. It's just like everything's a show. And no one's actually trying to help. They're either being very toxic or just feeding into it.
Yeah. It's entertaining.
Yeah. Oh man.
You guys can avoid all this drama just by watching Tana Mongeau. Do you know she recently went shopping wearing a face mask and a bikini, and that's just so Tana.
It's pretty Tana.
I'm glad you're such a fan of her, Eric.
Eric loves her. He wouldn't shut the hell up about her for like 5 months.
But yeah, like fuck Keemstar kind of shit. Because even after Alinity made again, going back to Alinity, made a Twitter post about how she's just kind of like sick and tired of people like constantly berating her. She cried on stream too, and it seemed pretty genuine. Because again, I think I'm not sure she was close to Reckful, but she knew Reckful. Like it seems like everyone on Twitch knew Reckful. Like, and all of them have positive stories about him. So him passing is just like a super fucking sad event for everyone in that community. And yeah, she was just like talking about how people just like constantly berate her, like millions of people just constantly shitting on her every day. Anytime she opens up Twitter, it's just like, oh, more negative comments to me. Oh, I'm on Twitch, more negative comments. Like anywhere she goes, it's just negativity. So
well, and real quick, you brought up Twitter and people shitting constantly. I was reading something recently where they were talking about how like if you follow any sort of political thing on Twitter, you'd be convinced that everybody is fucking insane. But like somebody was talking about like the percentage of people that use Twitter compared to like the population as a whole, and then how many people actually comment on this shit. Like if you think everybody's insane based on like what people tweet, you're basically looking at about 2% of the North American population.
But it's I'm not even talking about that necessarily. It's just that whenever you see something negative and then whenever you see something positive, the negative thing is what sticks
to
with
remember
you.
the negative. Yeah.
always sticks.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh, no matter fucking what. You're going to
True.
forget that positive thing in a couple hours. You're going to forget what kind of life you're living. You're just going to stick with the negative, and it's just going to fucking eat away at you.
It's like it's kind of the same thing as like the loudest voice, like even like
The
what's
loud
the term?
minority.
Yeah, that always sticks out. Like you'll read something or like see a really angry tweet about something, and you're like, well, this person's career is over. But then like in reality, it's like 2 people like the tweet, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, nobody cares.
Sorry, I think I lost my train of thought when I was talking about Keemstar. But yeah, Keemstar, like, as soon as Lindy started tweeting about this, Keemstar is just shitting on her again.
Yeah.
Like, he's a fucking scumbag, man.
Well,
He's a total piece of shit.
On the same topic of Keemstar, one thing from that H3 video that really stuck out to me was when they were talking about the guy who got a guy called in and got a streamer swatted, and then he ended up getting shot down by the cops. And so Keemstar's interviewing the guy that called in the FBI on this guy or the SWAT team, and he's like, well, I don't think I should be blamed because, it was his fault for how he reacted and the cop's fault for actually shooting him. And so this is what
You put this whole thing into motion, though, you idiot.
Yeah, what I think about is that it's like the norm for people to treat people really fucking shitty, and you're cool because you fucking talk shit, or you're cool because you got this guy doxxed. And then, so he literally gets this guy killed, and it's like, no, I have nothing to do with it. And it's just
like that person, like holding on to that to try and separate them from the fact that they are a murderer.
Yeah.
Like they 100% actively caused this person's murder, and they're trying to pass the blame because they don't want to come to that realization.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just some stupid fucking 19-year-old kid because doxing is fucking funny, bro. How about all those videos? Oh man, I can't stand watching those videos of like it's like a literal child streaming. They're like playing like Mario Kart 64. It's cute, it's adorable, and it's people like telling them their address and getting pizzas delivered to it and like telling them they're gonna come murder their fucking family. It's like it's not cool. It's not fucking funny. It's so shitty.
Dude, I'm a big fan of pranks, but like there's a big difference between like, I mean, that's not actually first of all, it's not even fucking funny.
Yeah.
First of all. And second of all, like the target of your prank is like a literal child. It's like
it's difference between like it's a huge difference between a child playing Mario Kart 64 for 30 people or Saul and Richard from the Howard Stern show calling an adult on a radio show making up fake items.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing to this child is not creative. It's just actually abusing them. And it's
that always really bothered me too. It's like you're a fucking piece of shit. You're not funny. You're not cool.
Yeah, I can't watch those videos. It breaks my heart because I could just picture myself being a kid trying to do this stuff on the internet and just getting treated like shit. It would kill me. It would crush me.
Poor little Mikey. It's all right, bud.
It's okay. We had our first hate comment. It was somebody said "fuck you," and I just liked it, and I just said thank you.
There was a
that's a good way to go about it.
Honestly, all those hate comments, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, glad you came out.
Yeah, thanks
Keep
for
it
watching,
up.
bud."
Yeah.
Well, while we're on the subject of pranks, though, real quick, there was one I saw a couple days ago that's actually really good. If you search on YouTube for like crashing Zoom classes by hitting my bong, it's this guy who gets into Zoom high school classes, and he'll go on camera and just start smoking a bong, And the funniest thing is somehow I guess the teachers are so into like their lesson that none of them ever notice him sitting there smoking for like 2 minutes, but you'll see some students notice and then like start to laugh, and then he'll just eventually be like, "Oh, teach, this shit is fucking dank." And that's when he'll finally kick him out.
So dumb.
Dang.
All right. What else? Anyone else got anything they want to say?
Just
Anything
in
else you wanna
terms
talk
of
about?
pranks.
Yeah, Anita needs to go on her rant because the three of us have already
Here's
ranted.
my very contributing story. Last night we watched Perfect Blue. It's an anime. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like a horror thriller.
No, man.
And we had like a very badly dubbed version. So at one point
All
some
dubs are
guy
bad.
gets shot, and later they're talking about it, and the one lady is just like, "Oh, it was just a prank."
God. Hey,
Just
but
a
that's
prank,
so
bro.
that's so like relevant for today. That's
Yeah.
Hey, I know I ruined your life, but it was just a prank, bro. It was just a prank.
Don't worry
You
about
can no
it. It was
longer
just a
walk now because
prank.
I shot through
That's
your
like-
spinal cord.
I'm
But it
pretty
was just
sure
a
the guy
prank.
died, actually.
That's like that thing we always joke about, Mike, where it was years ago. These guys pranked their friend by like dressing up as like ISIS terrorists and breaking into his house. And
like
the guys basically
and they execute him in front of his friend.
no, the one where they break into his house, and then the guy's clearly having like a panic attack, and the guy's filming is just like, "It's just a prank, fam."
Yeah. It's just a prank, fam. No, there was one where it was like the two guys, one of them's in on it. They get kidnapped, blindfolded, thrown into the trunks, brought onto a roof, and they fake execute the guy who's like in on it. And the guy's like sobbing, tears, "Please don't fucking kill me, man." And it's like, it's just a prank, bro.
Yeah,
And it's like
how is that funny?
you know, if it's staged, if it was all staged and they're just really good actors,
It's still not
cool.
funny though.
It's not funny, but like whatever. But then like, yeah, if it's real, it's actually like you're fucked. You are psychotic.
A funny prank is Richard Christie calling into like a swap shop radio show, talking like an old woman and being like, "I got a few used dildos I want to put up for sale."
Yeah,
That's a funny prank, not fucking pretending to execute somebody.
A funny prank is me sneaking into Eric's apartment every day, shitting in his toilet, and just not flushing it. And he just goes in there every day and just like, did I forget to flush?
So
And then he doesn't take a shit, and now he's been constipated for days.
he's trying to figure out if it's him or not. Yeah. So kind of like same topic of the entire episode. Like it is just like it's so popular, and I think it's kind of shifting, but it's popular to treat people like shit, and it's popular to make up fake drama. One person, Jay Station, who was like, you know, he did that whole like, "Oh, my girlfriend's dead." I don't know if it was like a prank or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
the
and then it
Ouija
was
board shit.
my girl had a seance to contact my dead girlfriend.
Yeah, so then they broke up. So then there's like a bunch of videos that the both of them are making about the breakup and how they feel, and it's drama, drama, drama. Turns out it's all bullshit, and they're actually still together, and they're just back to making their same stupid content. And it's like, again, it's all this shit that's fake for money. So all these other drama YouTube shit, I see it. It's like, how easy would it be for H3H3 and Keemstar to call each other up? Hey, I'm gonna make a shit video on you. You make a shit video on me. They each make 7 million views. We're fucking millionaires. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's
I don't know. I don't believe
made
that just
up. It's
because
all fake.
Keemstar is an actual piece of shit. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at his Twitter and
Shit.
everything, like, he is
Yeah,
kind of
I
just a disgusting person.
That was an example. Like I
Yeah.
said before, I feel like the makeup drama, that's all fabricated. That's all made up. They are all in on it. It's all script.
Yeah, I mean that could be true. On that one, I could kind of fucking care less.
Yeah.
Like if I don't watch any of them anyway.
I know.
Like the only way I
Anita
know
was
about
really
them.
bothered by it.
The only way I know about them is through Philip DeFranco. So.
Very into the beauty network.
Are you actually?
No.
Oh, okay. Listen, I don't know what your interests are, Anita.
Have you seen what I look like?
You're a beautiful young lady.
Yeah, you have a
Anita's a
unique
good-looking
look
kid.
to you, Anita.
Thanks.
Very unique.
All right.
Well, what else you guys
Is that
got?
it?
I was gonna say, I think I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely put on the COVID-15.
Yeah,
No, I put on the
think I can-
COVID-19.
Yeah, I'm so chonky now, and I was getting a little chonky, but like more now so than ever. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, all
I
I
need to start
do
working
is
out.
I sit at a computer and drink Coke all day.
All I do now, like I used to work and I used to walk a lot, and when I was at work, I was a cook and I was very active and blah blah blah. So it kind of like balanced me out. Now I sit in my bed, sit at my computer, apply to jobs, play video games, collect my Serb check. I just sit here.
Are you Serbian?
No, CRB, I think is what it's called. The
Yeah,
Canadian
that's the Ontario like money for
Money for
Rugby
losers.
thing.
Yeah. But that's the thing too. Like my job too. When I was working, I had the Fitbit, right, and I was doing like 20,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
And then on days that I went to the gym, I'm like coming home and it's almost 30,000 steps, and it's just like, okay, and now I'm here, and I'm taking like 2,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
well, hopefully it's all the extra weights go into the thighs and the butt. Am I right, guys?
Eric, you are literally. We talked about this. You are molesting, and you are creating an environment.
Hostile work
Yeah.
environment.
God damn it!
Anita, if you'd like to press charges on Eric,
I would like to have his 1/4 of this company.
So
You think,
okay, yeah.
You think Eric
Anita
has
gets-
1/4 of this company?
Anita gets Eric's theoretical 0.1 cent.
Hot damn! I'm gonna be a millionaire now. Everybody bookmark this video so you can back me up that I own 1/4 of this company.
Put it
Yeah,
in
I don't think I've distributed the equity among any of you.
There's gonna be like a comp made on YouTube. It's like all the moments of Eric's like misogynistic.
Monogenistic.
I
Misogynistic.
can't say it.
Misogynistic.
All these clips of Eric just doing his stupid dumb jokes and stuff.
You know, one time a girl said to me, "You're being
wanna see
kind of
their team beat.
misogynistic," and I said, "How about massaging this dick?"
All right, well, viewers, thank you for
Eric
watching.
is part of the problem.
Hopefully, we'll have more podcast episodes out in the future.
Yeah, we're gonna try to be more frequent with it, but it's hard when you don't.
But
actually make
don't
money
rely
from
on it.
things.
Don't.
Yeah.
This isn't a promise that we're
Don't
going
quote
to.
us on it. Yeah.
We're just gonna try to make more of an effort. Is all.
Yeah. Hey, when if we start making money, I'll do it every day. But
Yeah, you fucking
No.
bitches better be goddamn sharing this amongst all your family members, all your friends. Otherwise, it's not worth it. We're not doing this for you. We're doing this for the money, goddammit.
I do like money because the Steam Summer Sale is on, and I got a lot of games that I want to buy.
there's just a lot of games I want to buy.
But
No,
anyway,
you know what? I bought all the games I wanted to buy.
I guess
I think
this
I
is
spent
where we're
like
going to end it.
$20. Yes, we should
So,
end it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Game.
say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Adios.